G'day guys, Dan here from the Fishing Guru. You might notice I'm wearing a slightly different shirt today from the normal Fishing Guru attire. Basically, we'll get back to our how-to videos shortly, but at the moment I just wanted to talk a little bit more about our ambassadorship. So those of you that have been following us on Facebook and Instagram and all the other various social networks will know that we've recently been selected as an ambassador for a charity very close to my heart, which is Backpacks for SA Kids. Sorry about that light, that's better. So Backpacks for SA Kids is a local South Australian charity that essentially puts together backpacks of essential items and comfort items for children that are torn out of domestic violence situations and not very pleasant home situations. They're generally torn out on a whim as an emergency thing for their safety and their protection. And then what happens is they get put into the temporary or emergency care system and eventually with the hopes of foster care or rehabilitation with their parents, which is unfortunately very rare. So the problem is that these children are ripped out. They're ripped out of these houses with nothing but essentially the clothes on their back. They go into a very scary situation. They don't know what's happening. They don't know what's going to become of them. They have nothing of their own to call their own, and quite oftenly they're sort of flicked around between temporary accommodation or emergency accommodation. It could be 2 days here, 2 weeks there, and they're moved around, and it's not the most pleasant experience for them. It's very scary for them, and Backpacks for SA Kids essentially try and make a difference to these kids' lives when they're put in these situations. So what they do is they put together, as well as other various support channels, but they essentially put together a backpack with essential items like toiletries and stuff. We'll show you an example in a second, but they also have comfort items that these kids can call their own. A lot of these kids, based on the feedback, don't even have so much as their own pair of jocks or underwear. They actually have to share with other children, which is very disappointing, and really that's sort of what gets to me. So as part of our ambassadorship, we're trying to help them raise some money, $10,000 to be exact, towards their backpacks, towards the items that they need, towards all this. But unfortunately our collection tin is a little bit empty. So one of the biggest responses that I've had when putting the word out is people just don't understand exactly what these backpacks are. They think, why do you just give them a backpack? That's a bit silly. But we just wanted to show you guys sort of a little bit more clarity exactly what they are and what they can mean to these kids. So I'll just flick the camera around. Bear with me for 2 seconds. Okay, so this is essentially one of the backpacks that I've been given for demonstration purposes. It's fairly standard. You'll notice that the backpack's actually decent, really good quality. It's designed to last them a long time, and they're actually packed and distributed in sort of age-specific things, just to make sure that they're relevant to the recipients and they make the biggest impact that they possibly can. So some of the items that are included essentially are clothing. So babies generally get a couple of sets, whereas the children normally get one set of sort of shorts, pants, t-shirts. As you can see, there's a hoodie there as well. They get their own jocks, they get their own socks to call their own. Again, from the feedback, it amazed me that some of these kids have never even had their own pair of jocks they've had to share, which is just wrong on so many levels. Toiletries. So toiletries are really important. So in this toiletry bag, for example, we're going to show you. We'll sort of show as best we can. They have their own shampoo. They've got their own body wash, flannelette type thing. They've got some soap and some soap container, their own toothbrush, their own comb, their own toothpaste. There's some Band-Aids in there as well. So again, just the impact that it can have on these kids that are in these sort of share accommodation situations and emergency accommodation situations. The fact that they have their own toothbrush to then take with them as they get moved around, it just makes such a massive impact. So again, the pajamas are really important. So pajamas, if you think about these kids, they're scared, they're not sure what's going on, they're in an unfamiliar environment. Something as simple as a soft warm pair of pajamas can be that one comfort thing that sort of, just helps them out at the end of the day. There's a lot of toys. So again, very age specific. There's toys that just sort of help them to adjust to their environment, toys to call their own, toys that they don't necessarily have to share with other people. There's books and DVDs, activity books as well. So we've got activity books here with stationery to accompany them. So, pencils, pens, erasers, sharpeners, the whole kit and caboodle. And of course, one of the things that's my favourite is the actual comfort torch. So, just a cheap little torch. I mean, if you think about it, you're 6 years old, you're scared as heck. You're in a brand new environment. You've been rushed out of one and rushed into another. Just crawling into your new pajamas and laying under the blankets with your torch on is really going to provide that comfort. So I'll just flick the camera around again. Bear with us. So yeah, now that hopefully you guys have a little bit better idea of what these actual backpacks are. We're currently trying to raise some money for backpacks for SA kids in order to help them provide these backpacks to children. Their goal is they're expecting approximately 3,000 backpacks to go out this year to South Australian children alone, which is phenomenal. The problem is that each one of these backpacks costs about $50 to put together. So a lot of money needed, a lot of money required in order to make this happen and to help them do the wonderful thing that they do. So keep an eye out. I'll put down the bottom here, I've set up a chuff.org page accepting donations. All donations over $2, of course, are tax deductible. Otherwise, please keep an eye out on our social network. We have various events coming up. We've got some amazing sponsors on board that have been helping us out with donated goods for raffles and auctions and event prizes and stuff. So, all of this is going to happen by the end of September. So keep an eye out over the next couple of months. Thank you so much to anybody that can help us with our cause, and thank you for your support. Cheers.